In light of some of these comments that Minister Gibault made yesterday about building roads or not building them or whatever, how much does the federal government actually contribute to Alberta's road network, maybe in terms of dollars, and if there is some need for additional infrastructure being in the national parks, seeing as how I think it's about 10% of our province is national park, for all these EVs that they want to start bringing in after 2035, and, in terms of road networks, chargers, and just even that kind of thing. Do they have a responsibility to provide more money, not less?
Well, I'm not sure I know precisely how much dollars the federal government gives, because they would obviously have major highways that we would partner with them on. But I can tell you, we are going to continue investing money in roads. Anyone who thinks that you can stop building roads has obviously not traveled outside of Montreal very much and doesn't understand how big this country is and doesn't understand what it takes to get to some of our resort communities. So I would say that Environment Minister has once again demonstrated how tone deaf he is on anything to do with environmental issues. What we are hoping to do is to find other ways that we can facilitate more tourism traffic. For instance, last year you saw in the budget, we announced that we would assist Calgary in building out the rest of its LRT line to the airport. And we're in the process of putting out a commuter rail and province-wide rail strategy to be able to solicit input on how that might look. There was a proponent from a couple of years back who wanted to build a train from Calgary through to Banff. And so those may be the kind of things that we can partner on. I mean, I think that if we can find more ways for people to conveniently get to our mountain parks areas, we should be looking at that. Vehicles will be one aspect, buses will be another, and perhaps rail will be another. But I would say that it's not one or the other. I think it's all. Stephen Guilbeault needs to understand that he lost. He put together a bill that was found to be unconstitutional. It's illegal. And the court told them they had to rewrite it. And part of the reason it was unconstitutional and illegal is because they did silly things like come into our jurisdiction and tell us what projects we could and could not build, including there was a line in there that any road that was longer than 75 kilometers needed federal approval. Well, the Supreme Court has found that to be unconstitutional and illegal. So I don't take much stock in Guilbeault trying to assert that he has authority in areas that he does not. So we're going to build roads. It sounds like Premier Doug Ford is going to continue to build roads. And I think that it's just another demonstration of the ideology. I mean, 2 weeks ago, he was telling us all that we had to drive electric vehicles. And now that it's demonstrating that people don't want to buy electric vehicles at the speed and rate that he's proposing, now we see he's shifting gears saying, well, you shouldn't drive at all. You should take the bus. Well, that's not a reasonable option in most places in the country. So I would say that he's losing credibility every single day. I don't know why his caucus and cabinet are continuing to put up with it, but that's something that they're going to have to deal with internally. But I think increasingly he's demonstrating how out of touch he is.